Welcome to the topic Nationalism in India. Here, broadly in this topic, we'll discuss about the First World War, Khilafat and non-cooperation, differing strands within the movements towards civil disobedience, the sense of collective belonging. In between, we'll have some subtopics. These are the broad concepts. Now first let us discuss the First World War, Khilafat and non-cooperation. The First World War. The rise of nationalism, the Indian National Congress was established in 1885. So this last part of the 19th century, there is a change, a rise of nationalism we could see that there. But the First World War brought a turning point here. The First World War, 1914 to 1918, turning point in the history of national movement and creating a new political and economic situation. National movement influenced new social groups and developed new modes of struggle, offered opportunity to demand concessions from Britain, resulted in hardships. Here again the concepts we'll discuss. The struggle for independence and growth of nationalism in India took place simultaneously. The idea of India as a nation, as one entity, took deep roots only when the anti-colonial movement began in India. Different people have the complaint against, the different people saw the dissatisfaction against the Congress rule for different reasons. But this is known as anti-colonial movement. Began in India, a bond was created between different groups because everyone shared the burden of imperialism and oppression. They might be tortured, they are oppressed in different way, but they are being oppressed. So that here that only brought them, build the togetherness, build the nationalism among the Indians. It took a leader of unquestionable ability, Mahatma Gandhi, from 1920s. How the Congress developed national movement, how it brought social groups together. This chapter is utterly based on nationalism, its growth and popularity amongst all Indians. Now, here this is the First World War and nationalism. There was, due to the World War, there was huge increase in defense expenditure. So, this defense expenditure which was financed, this increase in defense expenditure which was financed by war loans, and it resulted increase in taxes. Custom duties were raised and income tax introduced. So this is one of the cause of hardship during First World War. Second cause, rise in prices of the commodities. Normally the prices of the commodities, the price increased, doubling between 1913 and 1918. 1913 में जो रेट था उसका प्राइस डबल हो गया, leading to extreme hardships for the common people. That is another. So another one, failure of crops. Crops failure also included here. Crops failed in many parts of India, resulting in acute shortage of food. Again, layer part resulting another epidemic. It resulted epidemic, influenza epidemic. So according to census of 1921, 12 to 13 million people perished as a result of famines and the epidemic. Besides this, there is one of the important reason, that was forced recruitment. Forced, recruitment. नहीं हो रहा है. Forced recruitment. During the war, the villagers were called upon to supply soldiers. That is known as forced recruitment, a process by which the colonial state forced people to join the army. This also brought the dissatisfaction among the Indian people. So all these combining together became responsible for the rise of nationalism. Yeah, this brought a turning point. That means the nationalism was intensified, we can say, due to this reason. So here one question may be arised: what are the causes of rise of nationalism during the First World War? Now, the new idea of Satyagraha. Gandhiji came to India when he returned from South Africa to India in January 1915. There also he experienced this Satyagraha successfully. So a novel way of fighting the colonial rule, a mass agitation, non-aggressive and peaceful against injustice and oppression. This is the Satyagraha. Since India could not match Britain in force of arms, violent course would not win independence. The main part is Satyagraha means insistence of truth. The power of truth and the need to search for truth. It suggested that if the cause was true, if the struggle was against injustice, then physical force was not necessary to fight the oppressor. Here, not weapon of weak, but of the strong, not physical but moral force. They gave more importance to the moral force. Mahatma Gandhi believed that this dharma of non-violence could unite all Indians. So here one question you may get: what was the idea of Satyagraha devised by Gandhiji? It may be of 3 marks. Now next phase, Gandhiji organized Satyagraha movements. These are called 3 initial Satyagrahas initiated by Gandhiji. Here again a question may be: describe 3 initial Satyagrahas started by Gandhiji. 3 are there in Champaran, that is Bihar, 1916. In book it is also written 1917 also, but somehow it is peasant rose against the unjust plantation system. Plantation, this is commonly known as plantation workers movement. Then Satyagraha in Kheda district in Gujarat, that is by the peasants movement. The relaxation of taxes due to famine. During famine, they wanted, that time that famine was there, the tax was increased, so they wanted to relaxation of taxes. For that also they started Satyagraha in Kheda. Then the third one in Ahmedabad, 1918, amongst cotton mill workers. This is known as cotton mill workers movement. So these are the 3 initial movements organized by Gandhiji. These 3 also came as map working: Champaran, then Kheda and Ahmedabad. That we'll see later on. Then in 1919, another event took place. 1919, you will see the turning point. Entry of Gandhiji was there in the politics. Then some laws, an Indian Council Act also was, that is parliamentary reforms Yeah, Indian Council Act, sorry, Montagu-Chelmsford Act, or you can say that is 1919 Indian Council Act. Now with this, and more repressive act was the Rowlatt Act. In 1919, the Imperial Legislative Council passed the act despite the opposition. Definitely this act the Indian people will oppose, but this is what is that act? Giving the government immense powers to detain political prisoners without trial and repress political activities. So according to this Rowlatt Act, any political activities can be imprisoned without trial for 2 years. Now, as our condition now, if anybody is in prison or anybody is there for 24 hours only, then he or she has to be produced before the court of law. But there they passed the law that anybody, arrested under political activities, then he will be imprisoned for 2 years without any trial. So response of Gandhiji wanted a non-violent civil disobedience against such a repressive law. He organized a hartal on 6th April 1919 that was known as Rowlatt Satyagraha. The rallies were organized in various cities. Workers went on strike in railway workshops. Shops closed down. That is, due to this, the British government panicked and arrested nationalists. Police fired in Amritsar on April 10 on a peaceful procession. And result क्या हुआ? Attacks on post offices, bank, railways. General Dyer imposed martial law in Amritsar. So as per that law, the people cannot be gathered in any place. So this another event will take place here. It was the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, 13th April 1919. Jallianwala Bagh massacre took place. Here, that was the Baisakhi Day, in Punjab, the 13th April, the day was observed as Baisakhi. So peaceful meetings was fired upon the General Dyer after blocking all the exit points. So the people were gathered in Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar. But here General Dyer fired upon that. Hundreds of innocent people got killed. Basis massacre, Dyer wanted to strike terror in hearts. What was the base? वो चाहते थे कि General Dyer wanted that they should create a terror in the hearts of the people so that in future they won't do this type of gatherings or they will abide by the British law. Then what was the result? That led to strike, clashes with police and attacks on government buildings. Hence Gandhiji called off the movement. Now this movement and then Rowlatt Act, altogether that was in 1919. Plus one more thing we'll see, that is the Khilafat movement. What was that? Gandhi wanted to launch a more broad-based movement, bringing Muslims under the umbrella of a unified national movement. Now in the First World War, that is Turkey got defeated. Turkey, Germany and Austria-Hungary, they were in central power. So they got defeated. After that that was called as 19 peace treaties was there with different countries, differently. That is called Paris Peace Conference, and treaty with Germany was there. That was commonly known as Treaty of Versailles. This is there was a treaty with Turkey also. So the Khalifa, he was known as the leader of Muslim all over the world. So as he got defeated, and this treaty, it was an insult to Khalifa. So the Muslim all over world, they will start the movement that was known as Khilafat movement. So here in India also it will be started. Gandhiji wanted to launch a more broad-based movement, bringing Muslim under the umbrella of a unified national movement. He took up the Khilafat movement, wherein Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali found it in March 1919 to defend it, because Gandhiji thought it is an opportunity. So Gandhiji convinces Congress to join in support of it as well. Swaraj, that was the Congress session was held, special session was held on September 1920 in at Calcutta, and start a non-cooperation movement. They plan to start. This is the Khilafat issue they give. In First World War, the Ottoman Turkish Empire was defeated. A harsh treaty was imposed on the Turkish emperor, the Khalifa, a spiritual head and protector of holy places. The empire was dismembered by 1920. So that made that Khilafat movement. That also started in India. Indian Muslims started. So to unite Hindu Muslim, Gandhiji thought this is an opportunity to start the movement. So here that is one. Then why non-cooperation? Questions you may get, what are the causes to start, causes to launch non-cooperation? So you can write that is Rawal attack, Jallianwala Bagh massacre also, then Khilafat movement, that is to bring Hindu and Muslim under one umbrella. Now again, this is the non-cooperation. Why? This is the theory of Gandhiji. That is, in his book, Hind Swaraj, the British rule survived due to the cooperation between Indian and British. That means if Indians refuse to cooperate, British rule in India would collapse within a year and Swaraj would come. That was the thought of Gandhiji. So for this, he wanted to start non-cooperation movement. So these are the causes you may mention. So non-cooperation, no British rule, collapse of empire, Swaraj for India. And on that debates followed, many leaders feared violence. Many leaders were thinking if this will start in that condition, now there will be violence. So they were not in favor of that. But Indian National Congress, the string of Indian National Congress, it was in the hand of Gandhiji. So they had to abide by that. Compromise worked out at Congress at Nagpur, December 1920, and non-cooperation started. So here Nagpur session. In map also you can September session 1920 Congress, that was in Calcutta, and in December 1920 that was in Nagpur. This also came as map work. Now methods of non-cooperation, how to start non-cooperation movement. That was this is how could non-cooperation become a movement. The movement to unfold in stages, different stages में unfold करने के लिए किया गया. उसमें क्या क्या थे? Surrender of all government titles. By that time the Britishers, they used to give some titles, Rai Bahadur, knights, like that. Those titles, the British government awarded, those people, they have to surrender those titles. Then what? By this time only Rabindranath Tagore surrendered his title knight. Boycott of civil services, army, police, courts and legislative councils, schools, foreign goods. All this, the British offices to be boycotted. In case of government repression, गवर्नमेंट अगर सप्रेस या रिप्रेस करना चाहेगा, देन ए फुल डिसओबीडियंस मूवमेंट टू बी लॉन्च्ड. Mobilization of popular support for movement under Gandhiji and Shaukat Ali, they started because in the leadership of Gandhiji there were three mass movement all over India. The first one was the non-cooperation movement, then another one civil disobedience movement, another one Quit India movement. But in this chapter we are going to read detail about this non-cooperation movement and the civil disobedience movement, not the Quit India. This chapter is not included Quit India movement. So here, what are the methods of non-cooperation?